Why are these guys used so much? Am I missing something here? Judoon In Chains is a second story in the classic Doctor's New Monsters box set, following on from Fallen Angels with the Fifth Doctor, and it's kind of presented more like a classic Who episode, by holding the mirror up at humanity a little bit more. If the title didn't give it away, your favourite Rhino space mercenaries are back, with another crime to solve, but it's not all as it seems this time, when one Judoon seemingly defects from normal duty. Yeah, the Judoon seem to be weaving their way into a lot of Doctor Who media for some reason. I mean, they were a fun obstacle in Smith & Jones, but that story was built on being the character piece that introduces Martha, not a Judoon shootout. I feel like the Judoon themselves are at best uninteresting, so I was disappointed to see them crop up again, but that's a video for another day. The story presents some interesting themes. It starts in a world that is about to be terraformed for someone's 16th birthday. I mean, why else would you want to terraform a planet, right? The Judoon are helping with this terraforming process when one of them is possessed by an alien you can't physically see. Yeah, kind of almost exactly like the genocide machine. Small gripes aside, this Judoon crash lands on Earth and is captured by a carnival who uses the Judoon in one of their, quote, freak shows. This is where the story gets its main message. The great moral conclusion is that freak shows are bad. How very deep and introspective. I guess it doesn't hold any punches when it comes to their portrayal of what it was like to be in one of these shows, but it would have been nice to get more of a gritty story with this message as opposed to what we did get. A Judoon reciting poetry with themes that we've simply seen before. It felt like it wanted to be a Doctor Who spin on the Elephant Man, which in itself I think would really work, but it doesn't seem to fully commit to this idea and led the story away from this towards the end. What this audio does do, however, is tackle the general issue of being different. The Judoon at the end of this story is a changed creature, no longer able to mix with his own species, but this isn't a bad thing. His change was for the better, and it almost asks the listener, what changes do you need to make to improve your life? Plus, is it worth sacrificing everything you know in pursuit of new truths? Would you defect from your entire species? The audio's answer to this is yes, of course it's worth it. The Judoon flies to another planet to start a new life, appreciating and understanding things no other Judoon could ever dream of. It's quite a somber yet wholesome ending and leaves the listener in a kind of strange, happy, sad state. Oh god, maybe this is the writer's way of telling me I should like the Judoon a bit more. Maybe I'm too harsh on them. I mean, they're just a bit different. That doesn't make them bad, right? Wrong, they're awful and terrible, let's just move on. So yeah, this audio does have some good qualities. It doesn't take the Judoon too seriously, which would be a bad mistake seeing as how ridiculous they are as an enemy. That would be a very bad idea, wouldn't it, Chibnall? I actually laughed out loud when the Judoon squad were made to walk round the carnival because they are bound by the rules, and the Doctor insisted that they follow the arrows before he'll help.
Judoon will always follow the letter of the law. However petty or inconsequential, it defines them as a species.
They sound like a right bunch of sticklers. So where next?
Hall of Mirrors. Enter.
Excellent. This should be interesting.
Squad, retreat! Return to the scout ship! Immediate evacuation! Immediate retreat!
Another part I liked about the audio was how it showed the importance of creativity. Basically, the Judoon we follow through the story has an alien inside its head who opens up the creative centres, causing the Judoon to recite poetry?
Morning, Mr. Kaibo. How'd you get on?
I have read the books you gave me, Eliza. Frankenstein, Great Expectations, Moby Dick, and all of the others. They were delightful.
Already?
He's quite the voracious reader, aren't you, Captain?
I particularly enjoyed your human invention of poetry. The Judoon have nothing to compare. I like Robert Burns very much. From thee, Eliza, I must go, and from my native shore. The cruel fates between us throw a boundless ocean's roar.
Yes, so this was used for comedic effect and was quite frankly a little bit weird sometimes, but it's rooted in the idea that creativity should be valued and not forgotten, a message I feel like a lot of people need to hear nowadays. The resolution at the end with the big corporation being taken down and getting justice served on them was satisfying, if a little predictable. It was a good idea to have the Doctor being a court defence throughout the audio, however hard I rolled my eyes at the beginning when this part of the plot was revealed. I don't know, I just cringe whenever I see them using the Sixth Doctor in a court cases like this is some massive part of his character after Trial of a Time Lord, although it was a fair nod. I feel like this audio didn't really know what it wanted to be. It seemed like a weird mix of period courtroom drama, a take on the Elephant Man, and a sci-fi epic. To have all these elements mixed into a 1 hour play didn't really make sense to me, and it felt a little clunky, just like the Judoon themselves, I guess. All in all, I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. I didn't enjoy it as much as the previous story, and I don't really like the Judoon, but the story's interesting themes keep it from being a complete flop. Okay, so that concludes today's review. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment down below and subscribe if you like the content. Thanks a lot everyone, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks a lot.